Hello everyone, I'm Bhavna Sharma, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Gentek, Greater Noida. In entrepreneurship development, we have started with the topic forms of business ownership. In the previous lecture, we have already discussed sole proprietorship and partnership forms. Today, we are going to discuss joint Hindu family system and cooperative organization. Now, joint Hindu family is a form of organization in which a large undivided family where more than one generation live together in a common house. So there is a form of business organization in which family possesses some inherited property and the head of the family is known as Karta. So that the Karta manages the affairs. So this joint into family firm is comes into existence by operation of Hindu law. So those persons who have interest in the ancestral property, they carry on the business. So like a son, a grandson, or great grandson, they become joint owners of the property. So the members are only the male members, and by birth they become the member of this firm. And the property is held by the senior male member or head of the family, who is known as Karta. So in Hindu law, a family business is taken as part and parcel of inheritable property, and family business becomes the subject matter of co-partnership interest, and rights and liabilities of those co-partners. They are determined by general rules of Hindu law. So what are the features or characteristics of joint Hindu family system? First is status. The membership of family business is result of status arising from birth in the family. So there is actually no discrimination on the basis of age. There is no minor major member, but all the by birth they get the status as member. Second is male members, that only male members of the family can be a member or they can claim interest in the joint family system. Karta, Karta is the head of the family. So Karta manages all the business. Karta has the authority to obtain the loans to mortgage for the purpose of business, and other members they don't have a right to manage the affairs of the business. They cannot take loans for the purpose of business. So only Karta can do all these things. Liability. The liability of all members of joint Hindu family, except of the Karta, it is limited to the value of their individual interest in the joint property. So all the other members have limited liability, but the liability of Karta is unlimited. Next is share. The share of each member is interest in the family property, and the business keeps on fluctuating. So the members' interest increases by death of any existing co-partner and decreases by the birth of any new co-partner. So the share is also a fluctuating share. Next is continuity, that the existence of the joint into family business, it is not affected by the death of any person or insolvency of a co-partner or even that of Karta. So the joint into family system continues and is not affected by the death or insolvency of any co-partner. Now next we are going to discuss is cooperative organization. A cooperative organization is an association of persons which is usually of limited means who have voluntarily joined together to achieve a common economic end through the formation of a democratically controlled organization, making equitable distribution to the capital required and accepting a fair share of risk. So, a cooperative organization is basically a voluntary association of individuals who generally belongs to one homogeneous group who associate together to promote their common interests. So it is formed and registered under Cooperative Societies Act 1912, uh, formed by the individuals, and this form of organization is applied to every form of economic activity, and the scope is also wide as economic life of members of a community. So basically, there are a large number of cooperative organizations like credit societies are there, retail stores, building societies, marketing societies, so which are formed and run under the basis of cooperation. So let's discuss the features of cooperative organization. That first, it is a voluntary association. A cooperative organization is voluntary association of individuals belonging to homogeneous groups. So people generally join it voluntarily for the betterment of their economic interest. They can become the members of cooperative society on their own. They can leave whenever they feel like. They can just give a notice to the society. But a member cannot transfer his or her shares in the society to another person. Next feature is open membership. Now there is no limitation on number of members of cooperative society. So its membership is open to all persons who have common interests. Service motive. Cooperative organization is established to render services to its members or the society in general. So an organization, it doesn't mean that organization does not work for profit. There are several cooperative organizations which are making good profits, but their emphasis is on service, not on the profit. Next is capital. The capital is procured from its members in the form of share capital. So share capital is the limited source of the business finance, and major part of finance is raised by loan from government or from any apex cooperative institution, by uh, grant from the government or some assistance from the government. So this is the capital portion of the cooperative organization. Return on capital, it is being subscribed by members in the form of fixed rate of dividend which is charged on the trading surplus of organization. And last is democratic functioning. The management of cooperative organization, it lies in the management committee which is being elected by members on basis of one member and one vote, irrespective of number of shares held by any member. So every member has equal votes, not like in the case of company. So it is the general body of members which lays down the broad framework of policy within the managing committee, which the management committee has to function. Now next is the merits of cooperative organization. First is it is very easy to form a cooperative organization because it does not involve any legal formalities. So any 10 members can voluntarily register themselves into an association and they can get it registered from registrar of cooperative society. Next is democratic management, that the management is vested in the managing committee, which is elected by members of cooperative on the basis of one man, one vote. Next merit is that they have limited liability. The liability of members is limited to their capital contribution. Continuity, that cooperative is a separate legal entity of its own, independent of its members, so the life remains unaffected by the death, insolvency of the member. It is a voluntary association. It is formed by the persons who want to provide the certain services at generally no profit, no loss basis. So the members, they form a particular organization on the basis of mutual help. Internal vitality, the cooperatives, they are not permitted to declare the dividend for their members exceeding 6.25%. And the balance of the surplus earned in any year by cooperative, it can be utilized for the growth, modernization, and development. Next is state assistance, that because the cooperatives, they are being run by the government, so number of grants, loans, or financial assistance, they are offered to them. Social assistance is also provided to them. And last is it helps in reducing inequality, because the profit of cooperatives, they are enjoyed by those people who are of moderate means. It helps in raising the economic status of the, say, middle class people, who reduce the disparity between rich and poor. Now let's discuss the disadvantages or limitations of cooperative organization. Availability of limited capital. It is limited because it is confined to a particular locality or community or society. Another limitation is that there is lack of managerial talent, because it depends on the persons who are the members who manage day-to-day affairs. So they may lack some managerial skills required to run the organization. Next is inefficient operations, that the uh, management may not be very competent, or maybe efficient persons are not there to deal with the business problems. So it may happen that the operations may be inefficient. There can be misuse of funds, because it is again funds is utilized by the people, by the members of the organization. So they may, some members give loans to the members without sufficient security, or the loans may be converted into bad debts in future. And last is differences among the members. It may happen that there can be differences can be created among the members on small issues, and uh, there can be conflicts among the members. So these are some of the limitations of cooperative organization. So in this lecture, we have discussed the two forms of organization, that is joint Hindu family system and cooperative organization. Thank you. That's all for today.